A paradox is a statement or situation that appears to be self-contradictory or absurd, yet may be true. For example, being anti-Zionist is not equivalent to being anti-Semitic, just as supporting Palestine does not equate to endorsing Hamas. Did you know that Western Zionism, is a political movement that advocates for a Jewish state in Palestine, is based on a paradox? A paradox that involves black soldiers, white ethnostates, and biblical prophecies. Western Zionism is driven by the belief that the Jews are the chosen people of God and that Israel must control Jerusalem before the second coming of Christ. However, this movement also promotes a white supremacist ideology that excludes and oppresses the non-white and non-Jewish people in the region, such as the Palestinians, the Arabs, and the Africans. Ironically, Western Zionism owes its existence to the heroic efforts of black soldiers who fought in World War II and rescued the Jews from Nazi persecution. Without the black soldiers, many of the Jews who later immigrated to Israel would not have survived the Holocaust. Yet, the Zionist state that they established has shown little gratitude or respect for the black liberators, and has instead treated them as disposable and inferior. But that's not all. Some Jewish scholars also believe that black people are the lost tribe of Israel described in Genesis chapter 15 verse 13. According to this verse, God told Abraham that his descendants would be strangers in a foreign land, where they would be enslaved and oppressed for 400 years. Some scholars interpret this prophecy as referring to the African diaspora, especially the transatlantic slave trade, which lasted for about 400 years from the 16th to the 19th century. According to this view, black people are the true Israelites, who have been scattered and persecuted by the white oppressors, who are the false Israelites committing genocide in Gaza now, after having been saved from genocide, themselves. Disgraceful. Some black groups, such as the Black Hebrew Israelites, the Rastafarians, and the Ethiopian Jews, claim to have a direct lineage from the ancient Israelites, and practice some form of Judaism or Christianity. They are still persecuted and outcast to this day. They also seek to return to their ancestral homeland in Israel, or to establish a new Zion in Africa or elsewhere. After all, the true Israelites deserve a homeland, and still do. Unlike Israel, however, they won't commit genocide to get it. A Jewish homeland in Palestine is central to the Zionist movement. Yet black people are the true Israelites written about in the Old Testament, and not their less melanated extended family living in Israel today. Thanks to the contributions of black veterans, a life debt is owed to the same liberators, black people in America, being expelled from the country they built for free, against their will, for 400+ years. Ironic, indeed. This view challenges the legitimacy and identity of Western Zionism, which claims to be the rightful heir of the biblical promises and the sole representative of the Jewish people. This exposes the irony and hypocrisy of Western Zionism, which oppresses and discriminates against black people, with a focus on straight black men, who are ultimately responsible for liberating the Jews and for Israel's subsequent creation. Remember, black soldiers, all men, were the game changers in World War II. They were called saviors by those who survived and later created the State of Israel. These same black men have no role in a white ethno-state, which is a paradox since Zionism wouldn't exist but for their heroic contributions. This raises questions about the role and destiny of black people, American descendants of slaves, ADOS, in the end times, and whether they will be part of the messianic restoration or the final judgment. Remember, if it were not for black men specifically, the State of Israel would not exist because too few Jews would have survived the Holocaust to populate the homeland. Never forget. What do you think of this paradox? How does it challenge your understanding of history, politics and current events? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching.